Last time on Murder in Manhattan.
We cut to Matt. He's like laying on the floor. He's knocked over the tray of chemicals. He's like, oh shit. He's like shakily. He was like pulling out a cigarette. He's like, oh my god. Holy shit.
Choking him.
Man, what the fuck?
What's up?
Patrick.
Mr. Steele. Good to see you again.
Yeah, I wish
Oh,
I
sir.
could say the same.
But I don't have to worry about it anymore. And he says he looks at you.
Now, Wells.
Matt's gonna cautiously look at the door
Okay, so
while you continue this.
So, we may have some incriminating evidence on you. We're trying to do this peacefully that Ulysses has.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Unlucky Ones, the only tabletop RPG podcast that allows you to hear a story about the specific characters that we made. My name is Ryan. I am playing a character named Matt Steele, a hard-hitting, truth-seeking journalist in New York. We are playing in Call of Duty 7th edition. Forgot to mention that earlier. So this week's fun fact for me is that Matthew met Jackie not at all through his own escapades. They met as children because Matt got in trouble with a local police officer who happened to be Jackie's dad. So once a cop in a family, always a cop in a family, I guess. He followed the family way. And then Matt, around the time he was a teenager, when he really started to wonder about all the weird stuff he saw, he decided that Jackie would be a good friend, and then he actually grew to like him a lot.
Okay. I like Jackie, the idea of Jackie being like, or Jackie's dad being like, all right, don't do that again. And he's like, okay, well, now I'm friends with cops, so.
No, well, like, Jackie was his son, so I think the specifics would be Matt probably, like, was trying to break into their house because he, like, was suspicious or something of the case that he was, because, you know, little kids get it in their head that they're like, oh, I'm a reporter. I'm going to do things I see or read about reporters doing. So he tried to, like, break into this cop's house, and the cop was like, hey, that's not cool, man. You can't just be breaking into people's houses. You're going to get in trouble. But then, like, they lived in the same area. So he met Jackie, and he was like, well, okay, yeah, breaking into his house is probably a bad idea, but I like this kid. And then, like I said, he got older. He saw him like, oh, this could be useful if he also becomes a cop. And then he was like, you know what? I just kind of like this guy. He's actually pretty straight.
Yeah. Fun. Just to follow up, really quick fun fact. I broke into a cop's house once.
Was it Tyler's house?
No. When I lived in New York, my dad worked for one of his bosses, and one of his son was a cop at the time, and we had to get into his house. So my dad had pushed me in through his window, and we broke into his house.
There you
Anyway,
go. You've done it.
let's go to Peter.
All right, so, as you know, I'm playing Ben O'Reilly, and my fun fact is actually the camera from episode 1. I remember that Matt Steele had thrown it at the monster that was chasing me down and did little to no anything, actually nothing.
It's not my fault.
It's not his fault.
I don't determine how damage works.
Well, that camera has sentimental value, and it is actually from his dad. So back when Ben was around 12 years old, he's been learning the photography through his dad, and he got the camera. His dad gave him the camera as like a gift. And so shortly after, not too long, he had passed away from a mugging. He saved a...
He passed away from a mugging?
Yeah.
You mean he was killed during
Yeah.
the mugging?
After the fact, the mugging was over,
Yeah.
and then he was like, oh my god, my heart.
It was so traumatic he dropped dead.
He didn't die there. He stopped the mugging, but shortly after passed away.
So why's the mugging relevant?
Because that's what made him pass away. It's my backstory.
He stroked out from the stress.
And so yeah, I guess one of the highlights is that Ben is probably going to try to get that camera back. It could be distorted in a whole new dimension. Who knows?
I think it's probably just in pieces. Is the more likely.
Go back to the hotel. We'll find out.
Yeah,
right?
we'll find out.
Or
soon.
the
It was a
apartment.
hotel. Yeah, it was an apartment.
No, it's the
Little
same
bit
thing in
nicer.
my mind.
They renovated it real quick.
Either way, you're there temporarily.
Exactly.
No one's going to live there permanently. So we got AC.
Yeah, they had AC in the 20s.
Yeah.
It's a nice apartment.
It was pretty nice until
It's always room
some
temperature.
weird dog showed up.
Yeah, until Officer McGruff.
That was the
and
pet.
This group gave us trouble.
And there's always cops on the watch.
Of course.
Yeah, well, that's because it has AC.
Yeah,
No other-
yeah, that's why they don't want to leave. Go ahead. I'm curious when AC was invented.
You look it up. Hi, I'm Michael. I'm your DM or keeper of arcane lore or other thing that represents GM. My fun fact is going to continue off of the fun fact, or I guess piggy off the back of the last week's fact, where I told you what my favorite genre was. Now I'm going to tell you what my favorite tabletop game that I've ever played is. I was hoping you would guess. Peter.
RuneQuest?
No.
D&D.
No, Eclipse Phase has been my favorite to this day. Every time I've played it, it's been the setup that it has normally is really, really fun, and the game mechanics are actually really, really similar to this, and it basically just tickles all my little itches, from everything to like having a variation of luck, to having a very fun way to crit, to having a very fun and unique of its own lore and story, and so that is my favorite RPG as of 2023.
As of April, whatever, April XX.
Yeah.
23.
Little did you know you're gonna have a large following of the one.
Well, I'd say now, audience, don't take that as a hint because it's not planned for next or anything.
No,
But
it could be planned in the future.
they don't know, but I did plan it for next.
Now
they know.
to answer the question, air conditioning actually did exist in the 20s. It was
Yeah.
invented in Brooklyn, so it would have been in New York City in 1902. So we're about 18-ish years later.
Yeah, it was due to some magical, mystical thing.
Yes,
It was actually invented. Weird trivia fact that I know: it was invented for or by a company, like for their workers. It was not invented like for commercial use. It was like invented by a company to keep people in their warehouse from dropping dead.
That's fair.
And that's how it got. It was. I can't remember the company for life. It was like an airplane
It
company.
was like an icebox thing, and just let the ambient wind just.
I don't know the mechanics of it. Maybe it was Bosch. I don't remember. I remember someone telling me. I want to say it was Bosch told me, but that could just be where I work currently, and so that's what's in my mind.
stay tuned for the end of the episode where I look it up and I'll find out if
Fact
that
check.
is exactly true.
Yeah.
Fact checks with Michael.
But I guess without further ado,
Let's go back to the 20s.
woo!
So, last time we left you guys were
Yeah,
talking.
in a fucking hellhole.
Yeah, we left you in a police station with Pat Wells, who is the police commissioner, and you were questioning him about, I believe, just generally like his involvement with the case you guys are onto, and he summoned a creature that looks that of like blob and sand that has coalesced behind you, and that's where we left off.
It wasn't directly behind us though. Like it was in the other room.
It was in the other room. Yep, it
was
had
rolling,
just
right?
it had just shown up in the other room, and it was making its way towards you. And Pat Wells had stood up and basically, in his way, announced that like he's like, "Oh, I've fuck you guys.
Okay, so
Fuck you guys
He
eat
did
shit."
4 taps right on the desk.
we're just jumping.
Did you say 4 taps on the desk?
Maybe.
You remembered that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
So-
cool.
It might have
Gi-
been 4.
Give yourself a D4 of luck, real quick.
Yeah, he
From a
tapped
D4
it.
of intelligence.
I remember all. That's a 4. Does it explode?
The luck, the luck does not explode. No.
Damn.
You need it more than I do.
Yeah, I've used a lot of this.
Okay, so I think Matt's gonna sort of looking at the scenario. He's gonna kind of like try to act quickly. So we know the necklace is somewhere. It's not in evidence according to the police commissioner.
Correct.
So to all of Matt's understanding, so 2 questions, I guess. A, is this now like combat, so to speak?
It will be. I'll give you a turn to try something, figure out something, or talk. But then yes, it'll start combat or
And
or
then-
chase if you run.
With the creature or with Pat?
Yes.
Okay. Well, because that's to say, I don't know how far it is from the office. So like, it'll be through the door next turn, or is it still kind of sloughing away across the floor?
It'll
start
it'll
next turn.
probably be in the door frame next turn. Let's put it that way.
Yikes, Okay.
So to lay it out maybe a little bit more clear. So the police station is the front reception. Then you kind of come around 2 walls, and behind are all the desks of the cops that sit like little like mini cubicles with the little like fake stands that or fake walls they put up in between. And then a nice little walkway all the way to the back room, which is the commissioner's room, which is this nice kind of office, roomy enough for about 5 people, maybe a little bit more. And what you've seen when you turn and look out the back door is that sand goop creature kind of coalescing in that walkway outwards. So you can see that in that turn, in this turn, technically speaking, it'll get to the door and be in the door frame for you.
So it'll be impassable.
Yeah, well, impassable. I guess you could try jumping over it, but yeah, impassable.
We could bomb rush the commissioner. Maybe he won't attack us because he's
Well,
hostage.
so Matt's thought is sort of the necklace, but he's not wearing it that we're aware of. So, and it's maybe in the room, but the problem is now I thought it was farther away, the creature.
I mean, we didn't
And so if we bum
see
rush
it. It doesn't mean
him,
it's not there.
well, but if we bum rush him and he has the necklace or doesn't have the necklace and we get the key and it's in a different room, we now can't leave the room. See the problem?
Yeah.
And so it's like we could just leave, but that doesn't get us anywhere either.
Maybe killing him will stop it.
I doubt that. It's just, if anything, it would cause more trouble. Okay, I guess booking it's the move then. That's pretty much the only option.
Okay, so you don't want to say anything. You don't want to try anything. You're just both gonna.
I think we'll just take
dart.
off. Just if it's that close, I don't think we have another choice.
Okay, cool.
'Cause it's basically checkmate. If we move forward to do anything else, it is now blocking us.
Gotcha. Okay, so then why don't you give me a con roll? And if you pass, you get a +1 to your movement. If you fail,
Hard pass.
hard pass. So it's just +1.
A hard pass.
A hard pass. Okay, so what's your movement now?
10.
What's your movement now?
8.
Eight. 8 + 1.
What's +1? Yeah, 9.
9. Okay, so its move is 12. So we do have a chase. It'll go first, then Matt, then Ben. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so its turn, like I said before, is it's just going to start moving up to the door. So because you guys are starting the chase, I'm not going to say you're still in the room.
Mm-hmm.
You probably tried to step out already. So it'll be basically next to you for its whole turn, and then it'll get its 3 actions after its round is done with you guys. So it's going to go to you, Matt. So you have 2 actions. Ben, you have 1 action. So you may start your.
I'm leaving.
You're just going to full book it?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
just gonna leave.
So you'll take 2 actions to get through. So you'll run through basically to the
Matt
receptionist desk.
will turn to Ben and go, "Oh, it's time to leave again," and then he'll just take off.
So you'll get to the receptionist desk. Like you run around it. You see as you run by it that it is constantly like eating itself and then like spitting itself back out. So you like as it rolls forward, it like goes in almost like a little hole.
Not the creature, not the desk.
The creature, yeah.
Oh, okay.
If the desk did, that'd be really cool.
Well, I thought for a second you were gonna say like the desk was like oozing, kind of like Condemned 2 style. But now I understand the creature is eating itself, and
Yeah, spitting itself back out. Ben.
I will probably follow suit.
Okay, so you won't get as far. You will get to the cubicle, like literally in the middle of the cubicle area. Then it'll switch back to me, and so the creature's going to turn tail and run after you. So it's going to take 2 actions to get to you, and then at the 3rd action, it's going to what is called a bite, which it got a 12 on, which
you
is
dodge or fight back, or
Yeah,
is
this
he
yeah, you
is
can
happening.
dodge. You can dodge
Okay.
or fight back.
I was just wondering.
So it's an extreme success.
I'm gonna dodge.
Yeah.
25 is. So you got an extreme.
Did he get an extreme?
Well, I just got a regular.
What's it to get it down to extreme though? Because I mean, this thing might rip you in half.
25.
You're not fully
I need
healed
to
yet.
Can I have
7.
2d6s just in case?
2d. I only have 1.
Okay, I'm gonna steal Peter.
I mean, we're not. My only thought is you're not like back. We're not back at full strength yet.
Yeah, that's fair. I have 4 health. Oh, see,
And it does do 2d6, 4d6 total.
I'll use that luck.
And it also
that I
gets
got
another attack, so.
this
Yeah.
morning, or earlier this morning. So math. Use 18 luck.
That hurts, brother.
Yeah, 18, 35 was 18.
35 minus 18 is.
Something like that.
That's close.
I use a lot of luck to get
By
out.
sheer luck, he doesn't get killed.
So yeah, as you start to realize that this thing is actually very fast as it rolls towards you, its body, like the sand bits of its body, start extending into what looks like stalactites, and basically they try to pierce you, and they go through. And as you turn to look at this, and you kick something, and you realize those flimsy like fake walls, they're not standing well. So like one of them falls over and it spears itself through that. Its second attack, it failed. So you watch as it like grips the that wall and then just crushes it in almost like a visceral second. It just crushes it and its body gets a little bit bigger.
And Ben thinks in his head, I need to get out of here.
he thinks,
Outwardly, he screams. Inwardly, he's like, I gotta get out of here.
Okay, Matt's turn.
Ben's like in his mind, he's trying to be a cool action hero. But in reality, he's like snot running down his face. Crying. Okay, so Matt has moved forward. He's at the receptionist desk. I did have to open the door. I recall that. So I will go to the door and open it, as that's 2 actions.
Yeah, so yeah, you'll unlock the door, and then you'll swing it open, and then...
Yeah, come on, man! And then I'll like step outside.
And then I'll use my 2 actions to hope to go
You have
outside.
1 action.
Oh, my 1 action.
To go to the reception desk would be your next step.
I will take a step to the reception's desk.
Excellent. So, yeah, you run through the cubicles onto the reception's desk, and then you watch as the thing comes up behind you, and now it has 2 actions against you. So, first one, again, it's going to try to spear you. So, I hope you're ready. All right, that's a bad start for you. 1, that is a crit success.
It's extreme, isn't it?
No, it's a crit success. 0, 1.
Yeah.
I will dodge. Hopefully.
She get a 1. 53. No luck.
Okay, so you can drop it to...
He can't.
You can't drop it to a crit.
He doesn't have enough luck anyway.
All right, well, so you'll watch as as those sand spears come back
Can
out
I roll
against
my
you.
luck to get out of it?
Can I roll my luck?
You
to get
can...
out of it?
What's your luck at?
15.
15? Sure. I'll let you do this. If you can roll your
By
luck,
sheer coincidence.
you can, if you succeed on a luck
Can you
roll...
roll a plot armor roll?
There's no plot armor roll. There's death
I
rolls.
kicked the desk.
But, so,
Deborah's desk.
yeah, so you can give me a luck roll.
All right. 15 or lower. Completely not 15
No,
or lower.
93.
93.
I'm dead. No, probably. I don't know.
Okay, so you watch as its spear goes into your shoulder, and it deals 8 damage total.
Well, I'm down.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. What is your total max health?
That's
12.
a major injury.
It's a major wound. So you will feel the sharp split through your shoulder, and then you'll start to black out for your major luck. So this is a fun rule that exists in variations of Cthulhu like this, where you can spend all your luck right now to avoid death, but only once.
Well, I don't have much luck, so I'm going to use all 15 points to not die.
Perfect. And so what happens is you can steal yourself awake, and then every round you'll make a con roll or pass out, and then your pass out is death unless you can heal yourself in the turn or save. Matt,
So you're the other monster
No,
lowered my
it's got one
con.
more action.
oh, you're right. Its other action is to grapple you and pull you down. So 80 is a fail.
That's good.
Okay.
So Matt, now it's your turn. You have 2 actions.
I don't really have a whole lot I can do in this situation. I mean,
Sure, yeah, you can.
I can watch.
You can watch. You can try to distract. You can try to hit it. You can.
Use
you
your
close the
camera.
door on your friend, lock the door, and let him die. Your
Well,
choice.
not my problem.
Well, because I can't. It's kind of. It happened too quick for us to plan anything.
Throw your camera as a grenade.
Not doing that. All right, I'm gonna make my luck roll to see if I can find, if you'll allow it. See if
Yeah.
there's like a fire extinguisher
Yes,
nearby.
you're always allowed to use a luck roll to try to
Hiya!
find something.
45. All right, I'll try and shoot the now existent fire extinguisher.
So yeah, there's a fire extinguisher at the door, which is a weird place to keep a fire extinguisher, but they have it.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking near them, but either one. Yeah, if there's a fire extinguisher kind of near them, I'll try and shoot it, but nah, I miss.
So so you spray the fire extinguisher.
No, I was trying to wing it and
Oh.
shoot it in the air to blow it up.
Oh, I see what you're
yeah,
saying.
to, like,
Oh.
freeze the monster, but I missed.
Oh,
the
okay.
shot.
So you watch as it lands like next to it.
Well,
Well, that's
Hey.
it. You get one more action.
so throwing it didn't count.
Nah, I count it as one. Luck doesn't count as the action.
Gotcha. Well, but
Throw
throw
and shoot. It's one.
Okay.
It's one motion.
Okay, gotcha. Where'd it land?
Right next to it.
I'll try again.
And your friend, of course.
27 hits it.
All right. So roll me a d4.
D4.
Yep. And so you watch as a...
1.
Awesome. You watch as a fire extinguisher lands next to you, and you see your friend fire off a round into the air, and it just like shoots the side, and then you hear another round go off, and then you hear the little pressurized like tss, and then the as it pops. So you watch as this creature is engulfed in the whatever chemical is in fire extinguishers. It's some type of foamy
Whatever dry
chemical.
ice is.
Yeah. Condensed carbon.
CO2.
Maybe. So it'll explode and it'll cover this creature, temporarily freezing the creature.
I'll be like, that's all I got. Run.
It is up to you.
All right, so you said I have to roll a con roll at the end or now?
Con roll at the end of your turn every turn.
All right, so
Otherwise, you pass out.
but I can move though.
You can move.
I'm gonna move outside.
So you could run outside with your friend. You can make a con roll or pass out, or you can also try to make yourself a medicine roll to try to like patch yourself so you're not constantly in a state of passing out.
Yeah, my medicine's a 1, so I'm gonna go ahead and
First
try
aid also works if you have higher first aid.
It's a 30 versus my con's a 54.
I mean, they're not exclusive.
I can do both.
Well, if you fail the
Oh,
medicine
yeah,
roll, you
fair.
have to make the con roll.
That's true. I'm a medicine or first aid. I'm not medicine. I need to get that number up. No, I do not heal myself at all with the first aid. And then con roll. 38, which is a normal success.
All right, so you see him bleeding like profusely out of his wounds, but he's still awake. He's still alive.
Is he outside? Would have like?
Oh yeah, he got outside with
I
you.
have a
So
big hole in my chest.
technically it is its turn. So I'm going to make a 33 beats that, and then 18, which also beats that. You'll watch as it like shakes itself loose, and then it'll start moving towards the receptionist desk for its last turn. So, Matt, your turn.
Run.
So yeah, you guys
take
you
it
got-
off down the street.
Yeah, you guys will bolt down the street. So I'm gonna give you that when you sit down, you'll probably be okay to like breathe and like pseudo patch yourself. You won't heal, but you will have the thing. Everyone, make me a sanity roll real quick to finish off my
100. So that's a fail.
beating you guys
27.
up. 27, which is a pass. Oh, okay, so you lose 1 sanity.
I also lose 1.
We like those numbers.
That's the most sane motherfucker.
I can't
Any
ever beat
universe.
him.
I'm not the lucky. Well, maybe I am. The
Also, you have
luckiest.
temporary insanity, so you're gaining another phobia. Yours will be a fear of sand.
I think we're in New York.
Of course, it's into everything.
I wanted to make the joke, I just didn't. So now you have like a deep-seated fear of sand.
And claustrophobia.
Yes, and you're also scared of being.
So
in
if I
close
get
space.
buried in sand,
You're fucked.
I'm gonna shit myself.
He'll shat his pants.
Okay, so yeah, you guys end up getting away from the scene and back down the street, and I assume either in a dank alleyway or back to an apartment, one of your two's apartments.
I mean, so once we're like pretty sure we're clear, I think we can stop for a moment and kind of take stock. Be like, okay,
Man,
just keeps getting weirder,
It's,
huh?
it's the police, man. We can't do it, man.
It's all
I can't keep doing this, man.
we have
Maddie.
to keep doing this.
Man, I have a hole in my chest, man.
Guys, stop, please! I'm dying a lot.
Yeah, no, it's the cops, huh?
It's the cops. It's the commissioner.
I told you not to trust them.
I didn't. I just wanted to press pass at the beginning.
That's where it all started, huh?
It's these
You ask
cops.
for a press pass, get hunted by demons.
Well, brother, I'm not sure what to do, to be completely honest with you. That was our strongest lead.
I'm not feeling too lucky. Is my hit points at 1 right now?
Yeah, your hit point's that one, and you have a major wound.
So he has the necklace somewhere.
Oh, and also that implies that your dex will be treated as half from now on, until you get that major wound cured.
So yeah, he has the necklace
Probably.
somewhere. No, he said he has it.
Oh.
He just maybe not on him.
Not probably.
He's part of a cult of some kind, and so is everyone else.
Everyone around me is a cult.
So, not
There's a
really.
lot about it.
Ulysses is also in some kind of cult.
But
So not really sure what the move is.
the
here,
enemy
I'll
of
be
my
honest.
enemy and myself is my friend.
Not real sure what to do next, to be honest.
Well, Jackie seems like the only one in the police force that's not part of the
No,
cult.
I mean, so like the normal cops are probably
Yeah,
fine.
so maybe that's a play.
Yeah, I'll give you for free that you probably can guess that the other like cops that I named before are part of whatever the hell's happening.
We've got a list of the members. It's just
Yeah.
what do we do?
Well, we know that the commissioner is hiding evidence. I don't know if that's enough evidence for Jackie to do
what?
an internal investigation.
No, police can't arrest their superiors. You can file.
Damn unions.
You can file a complaint through IA, but it'll take months or something.
Can't do this by the book.
Probably not.
We're gonna get hit by
I
the book.
mean, I don't really know what earthly way we could deal with a giant summonable sand monster and Officer McViolent that can come and chase us through a hallway.
Officer police brutality.
Yeah. I don't really... I'm at an end at the moment.
And I'm sure if we go to the apartment again, they're gonna arrest us or whatever on site.
Complex?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Right there. The only angle I could think of is to go see if one of those photos that I have has some more information that we can look at, or assassinate the police commissioner, but that's a whole bit of a different problem.
It's Plan Z.
Let's put that on the bottom of the list.
Yeah. Let's go check those photos.
Okay?
Maybe that'll work out.
Okay. So,
So yeah, we'll head back to
That's
Casa
perfect.
de Steel. And
Casa de Steel. So you head back to Casa de Steel.
yeah.
And you guys are going to go look at those photos, right?
Yeah, well, Matt will kind of throw open the door and like throw his fucking like coat on the couch and be like, God damn. He'll go over, he'll open the drawer. It's just like a bunch of like cartons of cigarettes. He's gonna take one out, take like 5 of the cigarettes out, and reload that little silver thing he carries around.
Yo, let me get a glass of coffee. A cup of coffee.
All right, sure. And then so he'll
Produces you an actual glass of coffee, not
Yeah.
a mug of coffee.
yeah,
It
he'll
burns.
go and start making coffee. He'll be like, if you want to go take a look at him, go for it.
Yeah, I don't know.
It should be done by now.
Chug my espresso. I'm going.
I didn't make it yet. That's impressive if you could drink a liquid that hasn't been brewed.
Oh, I just stored the powder.
I just said I'm gonna go make you your coffee. Go look at the pictures.
So you do is
And
you
you were like, I'm gonna
swallow,
shot my espresso.
you swallow the grounds and then you drink the boiling water.
Just like rip the beans out of my hand and chew them. What
Give me those
happened?
beans.
All right, while you're making that coffee, I'll go check the photo.
Great. I'm glad we landed on this.
Yeah, yeah.
It's good. So, yeah, you go to the red room. So, Matt, please remind me, what photos did you have?
Oh yeah, yeah. I've got exterior of the apartment complex, the corpses themselves,
The pictures.
the art room with the spire drawing, that blob, which I assume is the one we just ran into, the
Glowing
dog creature, either as a sketch or as a blur. I can't remember.
You have a blur.
The 3 people, the sketch of 3 people, not in sketch form. It's a picture of a drawing.
Yep.
And then the photo of Ben being beaten by an unknown cop.
Yeah, don't do it.
It's a pretty good one.
Do you have a photo of the front?
Of the apartment?
Yeah, we'll
yeah,
look
yeah,
up.
I have exterior of the apartment complex.
So,
Not the apartment room itself, but the actual building.
So
yeah, those are the photos you have in front of you.
So as I go in there, I'm kind of thinking, all right, the necklace controls the creatures.
Worth
So-
noting that the last photo in the line, which was the photo of the dog
time
creature, is still glowing-ish, like that
Last
pinkish.
photo in the line is him getting beaten by a
Oh,
cop.
I'm sorry, second to last photo. Before
It happens
you.
a lot. So I'm gonna look at the photo of the front where all the officers were at.
Okay.
My thought process is that you have to have maybe you have to have a necklace to control the creature. So I want to see if Wells happens to be hiding somewhere within the grounds from what I can see.
Just in the background.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Lucy's was in the background, of the corner of my eye.
Okay. Why don't you make me a spot hidden roll?
13, which is an extreme success.
Extreme success. Okay. So while you can't make out Pat Wells per se, there are indeed more than just 3 cops there.
Is it of the? So we saw Sydney and the other guy. So who's the other? Do I know the other 2?
One of them you don't know the name of.
The one that beat me up.
that beat you up you don't know
Yeah.
the name of, and then the other one you don't know.
We got a name, right? For the one in the apartment, you mean?
I don't know. Is it the one we saw in the apartment with the name? K. It's over the K, right?
Yeah, so we met
So
Sydney outside
Sydney and Kyle you
inside.
know, as you met and talked to.
Mm-hmm.
The third one you never ended up talking to, although I did give you a list of names, so I might not
Yeah,
know the names.
Tyler Peterson was the name that we got.
And then there's a 4th one there in that picture.
Hey, old Matt.
Ah,
There's another cop here we didn't see.
there's a lot of cops in the department,
Yeah, but not in the cult.
so I'm gonna come in with his coffee and kind of hand it to him.
This is good stuff.
I spiked it
Thank you.
with arsenic now.
Well, it's the 20s. It's cocaine, actually.
Yeah, just a little pick me up, you know.
No, I'm picked up.
Now I'll look at the photo and I'll be like, yeah, I mean, you're right. There's another cop who we don't recognize. So that's that.
Another one we have to worry about. All right, so that.
Did you assume a cult
Well-
was easy?
Well, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 members. So knowing 2 of them that we've met, no, 3 counting Commissioner Wells.
Mhm.
That means there's 3 that we've yet to encounter.
All right, I got something out there. Could be out there. All right, hear me out, Maddie. So we can see from this photo here, and I point at the photo of the creature that's distorted outside, that it messes with reality in image form, right? Because you took a picture, but it's blurring out.
Yeah.
Is that what I see?
Yeah. It looks like water smudges.
And it reacts to sound. Maybe if we make sound, it might interact with the image. It may be outlandish.
What?
So if we make sounds, maybe it'll do something with the image because it's actually affecting the image right now.
The sound.
Just a sound. Like it reacted
Like
to the 4 taps when the commissioner and it summoned it.
Right. So, like, make sound like talking in front
Or,
of it?
yeah, talking taps or some other high-pitched
So
noises.
what we're doing?
Yeah, well, it's not reacting to that, but
So then I would
I wanna
say
attempt to
almost
tap.
safely assume that that's not going to work.
Okay, so give me. Why don't you give me an education roll or an intelligence roll? I'm sorry. And the reason I'm going to have you do this is because I don't want you to kill yourself.
Oh, this is on something. Well, I have passed.
Okay, so I'm going to remind you just very clearly that when he tapped it, it summoned the creature.
Right.
Right.
So don't do that.
So if you tap, following your line of logic, if you were to tap and summon the creature in this room, what would happen?
Probably murk us.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to rescind it. You could try it. I'm not saying don't try things you don't want to learn. I'm saying that just be fully consciously aware that if you summon it and it's a creature that is horrible and will eat you, it will probably do the same thing.
So I wonder if 4 taps includes summoning. So what's the chances that 2 taps is to get rid of it? So I'm not. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna think on that then.
Okay, you think on that.
Yeah, I don't know that. I mean, unless it is specifically tapping, but that seems like a weird specific requirement by itself anyway.
I got my mug, right?
You do?
And do you have a wine glass?
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm gonna take the wine glass and wet my finger, and then rub my finger around the rim of the wine glass to make a high pitched noise.
Okay.
And look at the image.
Yeah, okay. So do me a favor because I'm going to treat this as a form of you casting a spell. So you're going to make me a power roll, and it has to be a hard success. And if it's not a hard success, you can push it, but the consequences are worse.
So it has to be 30, and I have no more luck.
Yeah.
So,
I'm gonna push it.
okay. So, full disclosure, if you push this roll and fail it again, you suffer double of whatever it was originally to cast this spell.
But he does. It still casts, right? Or is
It'll
that-
still cast, yeah.
Okay.
The second one, it will always cast even if you fail it now. But if
It's
you do,
just worse.
it's just, yeah. So the sanity loss is doubled. The damage it does to you is doubled. The amount of magic is doubled. Everything's doubled.
So you only live once.
Not for long. At
Well, I
this
use
rate.
luck to live twice, but
Not for long.
All
Once
right.
you,
I'm really
meet your
on this
unfortunate
idea. It seems
end.
like I'm on
So
something.
Matt's
I'm
gonna
gonna
give
do
him the glass and step out of the room. That's 90.
Okay.
it. Double the effect.
I warned you. Please give me D6. I need your D6 as well. So the cast is 12 magic points. So 6 originally, 12 now.
So if I have 10,
So it's going to take away from your health.
awesome, which I have 1, so I'm gonna pass out.
Okay, so you're going to pass out. So this will be exciting. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So you'll lose 20 sanity.
I'm at 20 sanity, which is
That's an indefinite madness.
Yeah, that is now you are an indefinite insanity. So God damn it. Okay. All right. So this is what happens from the sounds of the outside. So you give him the glass, you walk outside. What is the first thing
I didn't
you
like
would
go
do?
out of the building. Just
No, I meant walk outside
Oh,
of
I'm
the red room.
watching.
Oh,
I'm watching from the hallway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm
Wait,
just
like the hallway of like the apartment building or like in your
my room, but like just down the hall. Because I told you like there's a living room and it goes back into the 2 bedrooms. One of them's where he does the camera. The other's his bedroom. So like he probably went into his bedroom and got his bat and he's like looking through the door.
So you watch. You were doing the like glass rubbing thing. So you watch as he starts doing this glass rubbing.
It makes that sound.
Yeah, that wonderful that ooh sound. And you watch as his eyes, like halfway through this, start like rolling back in the back of his head. But you also do see as like almost like a force of energy come out of him. And I say this because you watch as like blood shoots out of his nose and onto your wonderful pictures in front of you. And then you watch as he collapses in the ground. He starts spasming and basically convulsing on the ground as if. No, I think spasm was the correct word. As if he's like.
Seizing?
Seizing, yeah, there we go. And then you hear a growl. You hear the sound of like that demon-esque growl sound you heard originally from the cop, and that monster that was chasing you through the hallways of the apartment last time. So that is what you hear. What would you like to do before I continue?
So I don't see anything though. I just hear a growl.
I do, yeah.
I do see something, right?
Oh no, you heard the growl. So
Yeah, I'm like peeking in the room. Do I see a monster or?
Oh, so you're gonna like lean and look?
I mean, I can see the room.
What I'm saying, I don't know how much room you can see, so that's why I'm asking.
That's fair. I guess my assumption is if he's standing in the doorway of the other room and I'm standing in the doorway of my room, they're straight across from each other.
Okay.
So I assume I can see him.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I saw everything that happened.
Yeah. Okay. So you see, it's not out of the picture, but it's leaning out of the picture. Like the body of the front half of this like malformed dog is like leaning out of the picture, and its claws are like basically like it's looking around for something to kill. It's looking for something to kill.
Okay. So with that, I think he'd probably shut the door because he can hide. Well, if it's looking for something to kill, he doesn't want to be the thing that it finds.
Right.
So he can probably pull the bedroom door shut and be like, "Hope that bed's okay."
Be the red room door, right?
No, my bedroom.
Oh, you're hiding. Okay.
So
Yeah.
I normally would make you the rule is I would make you make a luck roll, but you have no luck. So you have a luck at 1. So make a luck roll for me. Poor passed out Ben.
All right.
This just in. Don't summon demons.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna do something else. Maybe. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I was onto something though. No. That's a 56.
Excellent.
Not
So-
a one.
So you
one.
hear loudly the sounds of like nails against chalkboard, against like ground being torn. You hear the sounds of like ripping and breaking of bones, and then it stops.
While it's going on, he'd like to just crack the door just to see what's happening.
So yeah, you look in and the room is destroyed. That red room, everything that was in there is pretty much like shattered or broken in some way, shape, or form. You see your friend who is now missing an arm on the ground.
Can I make a luck roll that the photos less the one that it came out of are like intact, like just by some miracle?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm down with that.
82, I don't think does it. So
I'm sorry. The only photo that's left intact is the one of the creature, and that's the water smudge one.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so your friend now lays on the ground, armless. The water basin that you have in there to like cure photos is all like broken and shattered. There's water on the ground, all that fun stuff.
okay.
Good thing I was knocked out before that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it's fine now. That I got.
yeah, it's not there anymore.
So I'm gonna just run over to Ben and see if I could stabilize him. I guess.
Yeah, medicine or first aid.
26 will do. 1 on the first aid, basic success.
Okay, so you'll still be unconscious, but you are not going to bleed out. So, Matt, why don't you describe to me how you would kind of stop a bleeding arm the best of your ability?
So is it gone at the shoulder? Like how much of this? arm
Yeah.
is
So
taken off?
right here from the shoulder, where the spike hit through on the like upper shoulder blade area, it just tore the rest of it off.
Which one? Left or right?
Left.
Okay.
So I would probably wrap him tightly in like a sheet or something, and then go to the hospital.
Okay.
So
that's perfectly fine. I just wanted to know what you wanted to
or
do.
call an ambulance. I guess we have phones.
You do.
So I would call an ambulance and then try to wrap him tightly in like a bed sheet, and I'd be like, "Okay, Ben, easy, bud. Don't die yet."
I don't know. You can't talk, so. don't know.
So, fast forward now to you being put into a hospital bed.
Yeah. Well, I'll just send him off. I'm not gonna go with him.
Yeah. So, what would you? It'll take you probably, I'm going to say 4 days to wake up. So you'll hear 4. You, on the other hand, will heal 4, and as long as you haven't suffered a major wound.
No, I haven't.
And you have 4 days to do something.
Okay. So yeah, after he sends Ben off, I think he'll clean up the apartment.
Good first step.
We all had fun, right?
So he's gonna
It was a
sit down
wild
and
party
do
last
some-
night.
Some hardcore thinking as a me and as a him. So day one, I think Matt's going to go to the nearest store that sells firearms.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. So yeah, let's. You'll go to.
We'll hack that out for a little bit if you want.
You'll go to Ben's automatic or automatic Ben's armory.
Hey Ben,
Well, hi there.
name's Matt Steele. Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Matt Steele. How can I help you?
Yeah. So I need a shotgun.
A shot. What type are you looking for? Any particulars?
I hear that their trench gun they had in the war is pretty useful. So if you could find me one of those, otherwise a double barrel, I guess.
Oh, all right. You know, Ben here, we got all types, and trench guns are our specialty.
Dragon's breath.
he pulls out like the World War I style trench gun, and he goes, "Is this what you're looking for?"
Yeah. What's the price on that?
Now that's a good question. That'll run you about $45.
45. How much some shells?
You know, I'll throw in 6 for free for an avid gun enthusiast as yourself, liking old style guns like us.
Yeah.
But otherwise, they're about $1 for a pack of 6. So
A pack of 6.
Damn,
That's a lot even for now. Yeah. I was thinking like $1 for 20, but
that works. Let's
Yeah, like
just say
$6 for 20.
okay, let's say modern shotgun shells are like
that. Yeah, let's say
100 for $20.
let's say yeah, $1 for 20.
Okay, so I'll be like, all right, throw in 2 packs of shells and that. So I'll give you, what was that, 48?
Yep.
So I'll give him 50 for my asset money,
All
and I'll
right.
just be like, you know what, keep the change, bud.
Oh well, I'll throw in one more. So now you got 30 shells.
How many?
30.
30,
Total.
okay.
30 total. 36 total.
Okay.
And he goes, "Now, don't you be going anywhere with that. That's too dangerous."
Oh no, fella, it's just for home defense and the like.
In New York?
Well, it's a
Yeah,
dangerous time.
no, I know. I'm only joking. All right. While Matt completes that transaction, I am going to just quickly summarize what happened to poor
Yeah,
Ben.
we cut over to Ben.
Yeah,
the
so
hospital.
Ben, you slowly come to as you hear the doctor talking to one of the nurses, and he's reading your report, and he says, "Left arm has been entirely removed. His face has scratches and bite marks all over it, mauling most of his the front half of him. He has scars all over his body now. He seems to react very violently to certain things. When we try to put a mask over his face for breathing, he instead freaked out and pulled out the tubes and shit. He mumbles in his sleep. And then you can see a mirror at the other end, and you can see all this come to form as you realize that your face is all bandaged and shit, but you can see all the scars. They couldn't bandage all the scars. And you wake up. As for all the new mechanical things that have changed for you, just real quickly, he now has several different phobias and a couple of different manias. So basically, in order, he is afraid of small spaces. He's afraid of sand and sand-like things, dogs, photographs. He likes to pick at his wound. He's impulsive, and he's afraid of amputees. So, not counting himself. So, Ben, that is what you wake up to.
Just kind of look around. I'm like, in pain, probably. Right?
Yeah, I would imagine.
Everything.
Existence probably sucks for you.
And I go to rub my forehead with my left arm, but I don't feel anything happening.
You actually get phantom pain that way.
It's like, oh,
All the nerves fire, but nothing's there.
what happened? I look over and I do I see
There's a doctor there.
the doctor's like, where am I?
Oh, you're in a hospital, sir.
What time? What day is it?
I believe it's a Thursday. It is April 23rd.
And is there any computers in this room?
Computers?
No.
No, not for a couple 50
Good.
or
This
60
phobia
years.
of computers.
He's got a clipboard.
Is that? Yes.
No. He'll put a hand on your shoulder and go, no. You need to relax. The only reason that you're even awake and not on sedatives right now is because we have to discuss a lot of things, i.e., your payments, because we are running out of funds for you, and we just did everything we could, but we can't continue treatment unless you ask for it at this point.
I want to speak to my lawyer. I want to sue the police department.
You may go contact your lawyer on your own time, sir. I just want to know, do you want to continue treatment at this time, or should we let you go? We'll prescribe you some medicine.
Kind of like pick out my wound. And
Yeah.
show him.
Yeah, so
I'm like, I guess I have to, right, Doc? And I'm just kind of bleeding, as I'm rubbing it.
and he'll go back and he'll bandage it and be like, all right.
Can I go back to
try
rubbing it?
try not to do that. You can go.
Do what?
For your limb.
Do what?
Try not to pick at your wound. It's not good for you. So, with that being said, they'll discharge you from the hospital, and you will be out on the street. Thank you. Out on the street again.
And I'm
So it was 4 days, right?
Yeah, it was about 4 days.
Okay, so Matt does have some ideas in the other 3 days.
Cool.
So he's gonna go acquire a trench gun just because.
Yeah, that was part of one day. I won't give that a full day.
No, I think he'd spend the rest of that day
Learning.
learning and outfitting his trench coat to be able to store said trench gun.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
lying with steel plates.
So he'd probably sew some kind of like holster into his trench coat as best as he can
That's pretty cool.
for the trench gun.
It's fitting.
And then, so the second day, so we've hit up the libraries, we hit up the.
He hit up the archaeology
I failed
department.
I think he's gonna call Ulysses
Okay.
and request that he come meet him on day 3.
All right. So yeah, you can do that. He will meet you on day 3. He has
So
no.
for the rest of day 2, I think Matt's gonna go to. So Matt's got an extensive, and I'll let you rule what makes the most sense here.
Sure. Yeah.
Matt, over the years, has collected a lot of parapsychology, paranormal investigation books
Yep.
because he's been interested in learning on his own.
That makes sense.
Basically, with this new understanding, I want to see if a re-examination of his collection would maybe like he'll be able to connect some dots that he couldn't before, that he didn't really understand. Basically, like now that he's experienced this, maybe something in his old collection, I can make it luck or occult are kind of my two thoughts. So occult, if you're trying to go with a recollection of knowledge he's already read, or like library use if you literally want to look through the books for that, or I would say luck would be my last guess to see if just by happenstance
You have something that like pertains to
that
this
pertains
situation.
to the situation that could give him like a clue and a direction to start looking.
We'll do a cult. I'm cool with a cult.
Okay, so just if he happens to have read anything that rings a bell. 6. That is an extreme success.
Nice.
He's like, wait a fucking minute.
Excellent.
He has a Batman moment.
So at the end of 4 days, I'll give you some information on that. So
okay, so then he'll spend
because
whatever
it'll be
amount of time
you'll be
he
doing
needs.
it over the time.
Yeah, whatever amount of time he needs to read and research his collection, he will.
Yep. So we'll go to that would be day 2, full day 2. Day 3 is going to be Ulysses and anything else specifically, like anything that doesn't involve Ulysses that I can denounce to a roll.
No. Briefly before Ulysses arrives, he will be loading the trench gun and fitting it under the desk to point at Ulysses' waist and loading it.
Excellent.
So that if he needs to, he can pull the trigger under the desk and fire the gun into
proper
Ulysses.
shootout.
Ulysses.
Gotcha. I understand.
As he is alone in this now, at least for now.
Him and his trench gun.
So he's going to make the
tomorrow.
best of it.
Okay.
And the Truth Seeker is always in the room, but with what he's seen so far, he doesn't know that I'll get the job done.
Gotcha. Okay, I understand.
So yeah, that's all.
Okay. So Ulysses will show up, he'll knock on your door.
So he'll kind of like, all right, Betty, you got this. You wanted this. And so he'll open the door and go, Mr. Gorgon, thank you for coming.
Hi. He says, good to see you again, Steele. He looks around real quick and he goes, no Ben today?
No, Ben's busy today. He's working on other topics. Same case, other shit.
Understandable.
Come in, water, coffee, wine, anything.
Actually, I'll take a water if you have some.
Sure, yeah. And so he'll go and kind of fill a glass of water in the kitchen there, and he'll hand it to Ulysses.
Thank you.
I like that you also drink.
I know. It's almost like I said something, so you would start explaining it so I could drink water in the process.
We can segue into the sponsor.
Inception. This week's sponsor, water. So yeah, he'll give you that, and then he'll be like, okay, so
So what can I help you with?
I just want to ask some follow-up questions.
Yeah, absolutely. I will do my best.
The things I'm going to say to you are going to sound rather strange, but I have a feling you are not
You're a fortune teller?
you're not uncomfortable with that per se.
Okay. I will, like I said, I will do my best to answer whatever you ask me.
So we talked to Mr. Wells, Commissioner Pat Wells. He seems to know you to some extent, as you mentioned, you've been going around looking for your family's heirlooms.
I have, yes.
You're more specifically looking for a necklace, right?
Correct, yes.
That water is very carbonated, huh?
Yeah, sorry. Also, it's a lot deeper.
He goes, so he took the necklace, some drawings, and what he suspects to be the murder weapon. I think that last bit is maybe a blunder. Not a blunder, but a lie. I'm going to ask plainly, Ulysses, and I want you to answer me plainly so that we can move along with this
Okay.
on an honest level. Did you kill these people? We know they're not your parents.
Okay, so you can make me a psychology roll. Or actually, no, I'm sorry. Do a charm roll, because you are doing exactly what is, I would call a version of charm. You're being very, like, open with this man.
21 is a hard pass.
Okay, so he goes, okay, so I guess my first question to you before I answer your question is, what did you find that says that I'm not their child?
So he'll not show it because he doesn't want to bring the paper out for obvious reasons. Like I read into some background information on your parents. They have no living children.
So he'll go, shit, and he'll say, all right, yeah, I'm not their child.
Okay, who are you?
My name is Ulysses Crane,
Okay.
and I am, for lack of a better term, I am after that amulet.
I'm aware of that.
Right.
I need some more to go on there.
He says, it would be hard to explain where and who and how I'm here and all that fun stuff, but it's easier to say that, yes, I'm not their child, and I am not from around here.
The important question that I asked, though,
Shit.
did you kill these people?
You mean that didn't work? You mean I couldn't distract you long enough to forget it? So he'll go, yes.
Okay. So Matt will kind of look at him for a moment.
And he'll lean back in his chair, and he'll raise his hand and go, but I didn't do it in malice.
Okay.
I did it because I know where that amulet leads to them, and I wanted to stop that as quickly as possible. When I went there to stop it, Pat Wells was on his way there, and I basically had to make a decision. Either Pat Wells was going to take them and have them effectively be tortured, or I could kill them and take it then. I didn't know that it wasn't in their possession at the exact time I went, and so I ended up killing them for nothing.
Okay. Who?
Make me a power roll also, please.
No.
Ulysses says.
24. So that is a hard pass.
Something changed. You don't know what. Something changed.
Not on the hard pass.
Oh, it was a hard. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give you something around him has changed.
Okay. No.
His something
Demeanor or like
both.
literally.
Both his demeanor and something quite. You've been around enough creepy things to know that something has just changed.
It's a shift in the air.
Yeah,
It's a second order influence.
his the way he raised his hand and put it down seemed to be more than enough to change something.
Okay. What to be plain, and I'm sure you understand my suspicion now. So I need you to be as honest with me as you can.
I think we're up to that point, yes.
What is your goal with this amulet? Why are you after it? Aside from keeping it out of Pat's hands, which we can agree is a bad idea.
Yeah. So, yes, we can both agree that Pat is a dick.
Well, not even just that. I mean, we encountered to be transparent on my side.
Okay.
In the police department, when we were talking to him, he summoned some kind of the only way I can describe it is like a blob that sort of assembled itself out of almost like sand, even though there was no sand in the room, and chased us out. It didn't take Ben's arm off, but it wounded Ben severely, and then Ben fucked around later and lost his arm. But
Would you say you fucked around to find out?
Yeah, I was gonna. But it was a dramatic scene, so I didn't want to
Yeah, I got you.
dig into it too much. No, Ben lost his arm later due to a similar, involving all the same thing. Mm-hmm. So we can agree that him having it, not great. He has it currently. And so really we're looking at getting it back from him.
Okay.
I don't know that he himself has it on him, but he has it somewhere.
Okay.
But I need to know what your intentions are once you get it.
So it sounds like you need a lot more information, and I was hoping that I wouldn't have to just give information freely. But here's that amulet is, I don't know how much you know, so just stop me if you've heard this part, and then we move on. Okay.
Yeah.
The amulet controls creatures. Specifically, it is attuned to a, what's a good word? Mother, a mother creature.
Okay.
Mother creature that was found in said spire that the Gorgon family brought home.
Okay.
So, this
He'll be like viciously writing down because he's like, yes,
yes, free, no, not free information.
finally information.
Brood mother.
He'll, yeah, kind of like a brood mother. So said the disembodied voice of Ben.
Kind of like a brood mother. I've heard of those.
Yeah, I don't know what made me think of that, but so basically, so this mother-like creature. The amulet can also be used to destroy it, or banish it, and many other things actually. But so I am after destroying it. I want it gone. I want it gone as quickly as I possibly can. The mother, the
Spire.
yeah, the spire, all of it needs to go away. I'm chasing after it. So that is what my intention is with the amulet.
Okay. So,
He like looks at you scribbling really fast, and he goes, "Okay, yeah. Do you like that?"
and this mother creature controls several smaller creatures, is my assumption.
Pretty much, yeah. So the creatures that you have probably been seeing have been either parts of it or are like spawn of it, and those that amulet is doing, it's controlling, so to speak. So whoever is holding the amulet is probably designating people, and then having them be almost like pack leaders.
Okay.
If you think of it like a big dog.
Sure. Yeah. Well. We encountered one of those. So
I didn't know.
Yeah, so I want to first make a psychology roll because
Yes.
obviously I don't trust.
I understand. I
this
completely
guy actually-
I completely understand.
Specifically, I'm trying to see if I feel like his stated intention is correct.
Okay.
Trying to destroy it.
Yes.
Ooh, an 87. I do need to push this one because I need to know.
Okay. So how do you want to push that? Or you can use luck.
Okay. Feel free to say no. As I preface a lot of these words. Matt saw what Ben did. He's felt this shift and kind of deal that goes on with Ulysses.
Okay.
He's been around his brother getting abducted by an alien or whatever.
Sure.
He's going to try to almost tap into the unnatural
The
to
weird.
see if he can feel the intention. Kind of like divine, kind of like, what do they call that? That's like there's like a word for that where they can, like an empath on crack, where like they can not only feel your emotions, but they can like read your intentions.
Kind of like an aura reader.
Yes, thank you.
So yeah, so
I like mine better. Empath on crack.
empath on crack. That's what we're gonna refer to it from now on. It's an empath on crack.
He's trying to develop an ability to read auras.
That's a cool ability to develop. So we're
Feel
gonna.
free to say no though.
No,
It's too
well,
much.
let's do fun. Let's do fun things, right? So you're not gonna make me a psych roll then. You're going to make me a casting roll because there are spells that let you do this.
It's like a power roll.
Yep. So you're gonna make a power roll. It has to be a hard success, and you will get a second free push if you fail it with the same.
consequence. 69. Hey, but not enough. Can I use luck on that?
No, it has to be. It has to be rolled through.
It has to be rolled through. Okay.
Push it.
You can push it.
I can push it. So I'm trying to beat a 55. So I'm like basically trying to beat.
Half.
Is it a normal success or hard?
Hard success.
Oh, never mind then. I'm trying to get a 27. Okay. Aura reading's not quite to the same level as summoning demons.
That is correct.
And so fuck it, I'm going to gamble. I feel like even in the worst case, the damage I take won't be as aggressive.
Okay.
Then maybe Ulysses can help me out. 80. No, I failed. Okay.
Okay. So the spell will still cast, and you will gain the ability to read aura. I also should have mentioned this to Ben. You also have the
can
ability to
summon
summon things now.
The Demogorgon.
Things
So
or
you can what?
I'll let you finish.
Well, okay. So yeah, you get the ability to aura read. I will 4, 5, 6, 7. So that'll be 7 sanity.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Dude, honestly, it could have been like 60.
Not 20
So,
like me.
yeah.
So you lose 7 sanity. The power cost for
Normal people
okay,
can
so
talk like
it's
that,
variable.
you
So since this is a short scene, we'll say it's a minute. So it'll be 2 power points or magic points from you. It basically, just so you know, for your own casting later, it is variable. So for every minute you are trying to do this, it is another point.
So 1 per minute.
Yeah. Also, that is your first time you took 5 or more sanity. So let's do this real quick.
Yeah.
Make an intelligence roll. This is the one you want to fail. Failed.
Yeah.
Okay. You failed. Yeah. Perfect. So you don't understand exactly what you did, but you understand that you can do it again.
Yeah.
So you don't freak out immediately. There's no temporary sanity for you. But to go back to the scene, yes. So something in your brain clicks like very quickly. Something like connects, and you feel warm. And then you look at him, and you were trying to divine his intentions, right?
Specifically, whether or not he intends to destroy the
Well,
monster.
actually, it's a spell. I'm going to give you fun shit. So, yes, he does destroy. I'll give you 2 things. He does indeed plan to destroy the creature, and he does. And the aura around him is some type of shield. You have no idea what it is, but it is a shield.
Okay. Well, okay, so the spell was a shield. And then, like, the raising the hand.
Yep.
Cast shield, 9th level. And then the other thing was he does intend to destroy this monster.
Yeah.
Okay, so then as Matt kind of, like, snaps out of it, what does the color look like, just so I know? 'Cause, like,
The
I assume
shield
it's
color?
No. His honest aura.
His
Like,
his honest aura is a very warm, like kind of like a warmer, like green, kind of a almost like a verdant green, or
like a spring color? Like a spring green?
more darker green, but a nice
Like a
green.
forest green.
Yeah, forest
Confusing plants.
Green's also envy.
Okay. He's envious of how honest I am. No, okay.
He's envious that he had to give all this information
Yeah,
away.
yeah. Okay, cool. So I'll look at him,
No one
and
did
then,
this
like,
to me.
as Matt kind of rubs his eyes, I assume the aura will, like, go away.
Yeah.
And he'll kind of be like, okay, sorry. So I can get on board with all that. I can follow that, and I'm willing to work with you, obviously.
Well, that's good. Thank you.
And I assure you, I don't mean you any harm at this moment.
He nods his head.
So you need the amulet to destroy the monster. The only thing is, the spire is in Egypt.
No, the spire was moved.
Oh, where to?
Here, specifically somewhere in New York. I don't know where.
Okay, so we need to find that also.
Yes, but my assumption is the way that Pat Wells and his goons are producing creatures. That means he knows where it's at, and more specifically, any of his lackeys probably know where it is.
And so we need the spire and the necklace, and then we need to get you to the spire.
Yes.
If we were to fully want to help you destroy it.
Yes. Well, now let me say I don't intend for you to help me destroy it. I just wanted the amulet. Hence why I kept lots of this out of you. But clearly, I should have been more upfront. He says, but you wouldn't have believed me if I said anything else. So
He goes, yeah, well, I might have, but Ben, who knows? I think you've made a believer out of Ben in a way.
some would say
It'll
that
be impossible for him to forget.
None of this happened.
But he's gonna
So,
go.
but
Well,
yeah.
okay. So, do you need it? I mean, would our assistance be valuable? I mean, if this is a threat,
Well, you've seen what it can do.
yeah.
so
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
it is a threat. You don't have to help. I just need the amulet. If you want to just give me the amulet and go, fine. If you want to help me, I will accept the help.
Matt's gonna kind of like rub his chin for a moment. No, he goes, I'm down to help, and I don't know about Ben. I can't speak for Ben.
Okay. Where? He says, now that we're being honest, where's Ben?
I told you he's in the hospital. Well, I didn't tell you. He's in the hospital, but I told you he lost an arm.
Yeah.
When we came back from, in full disclosure, when we came back from the police department after we fought with that, he had noticed a connection between sound and the creatures themselves.
And you watch him. He'll pull out a notebook and he'll start writing something too.
Wow. No, take notes on that. That's a good one. He'll go, so, yeah, notice the connection between sound and these creatures, and that they interact in a way or another. And so I don't know what his thought was. I don't really know what he was trying to do.
Have you ever seen? Do they have ears? He looks at you quizzically.
So when you say the dog one probably does.
Okay. And so one of them did, but the other didn't.
The other was more of an amalgamous blob. So if it had ears, I couldn't identify them.
And start scribbling things down. And he goes, okay.
The dog one, I say dog, it was more like a horrendous flesh creature, vaguely shaped like a dog.
So it maybe had ears.
Yeah, but it had, I assume, identifiable ears.
Okay. And he'll mark that down. And he'll go, excellent.
So Ben, after he came back, he decided to try and use sound to interact with it. I don't really think it would work because we were talking in the room. We have we still have a picture. There's the only one left that is connected somehow to this creature. And when he tried to make a noise via a wine glass, I guess it emerged. Well, he collapsed, and then it emerged and ripped his arm off.
So perhaps, he says, thinking for a second, perhaps it wasn't the sound that was doing anything. Perhaps that it was your guys' connection with it.
Yeah.
That might have summoned it rather than the sound. Maybe the sound was just it.
Well, and Ben has
as
more
we
of a
say
connection.
in the science world, it was just a pseudo symptom to what actually happened.
Right. Well, and Ben had more of a connection, I guess, because he's been impaled by both creatures. So if there's some kind of like spiritual or physical even connection, because I haven't been hit by either of them, so I don't know that I have the same
Ability.
Yeah, I don't have the same connection in
Right.
that way.
Okay.
And I'm not interested in trying. He goes, so we'll need the necklace. I'm going to go with you to the spire because A, I like to see things through, and B, I mean, I'm a reporter. It's what I do.
Okay. Well, first we need to figure out how to get to the spire and
We need
the
to
necklace.
find the spire.
Necklace and spire. Yep. And also, we should probably go check on your friend then and
Well,
see if he's down.
My last question for you.
It sounds like he's had a rough go of it.
Yeah. Who are you? I mean, I have your name.
I'm Ulysses Crane. I think I said this morning already.
I have your name. I have your story. But why are you doing this? Do you work for some people? Or are you just some agent of divine knowledge walking around trying to save everybody?
Call it a. How about a curious wanderer? Let's put it that way. Let's leave it at that for now. I will happily share you more. Once I know this is all taken care of. Deal.
I say, let's after we solve the issue here, you can keep some of the money that you were going to give me.
I'll still pay you. I have no need for it. So
Okay.
it'll all be yours. But
information's what I'm after.
yeah, I'll share with you whatever I can after we do it, because it sounds, if information is as important as it is, it sounds like this is my, as I will say, not in a mean way, but my only leverage over you to make sure you actually can complete getting that.
I don't trust anyone either. And as he pulls the shotgun out from under the desk.
And he goes, "Oh, excellent! I was right."
He goes, no worries. He goes, but you have a deal, and he'll extend out his right hand.
He'll shake it and he'll go, "All right, so let's go talk to your friend
Let's go
first."
see Ben.
All right, so first foremost, so Ulysses will go, "I do have a car. we could take that to the."
He's gonna battle peek out the window. Is it raining currently?
Yes.
Okay, no motorcycle today.
He goes, "You could ride shotgun in my car."
Yeah.
So you'll get in, just because it's funny to me. Roll me a spot hidden.
Does he have a gun?
Fuzzy dice.
Fuck, 97 now.
No, nothing.
I guess it's better to fail shit that doesn't matter, but
Yeah, I mean it didn't matter, but
think Matt has-
it's been funny.
for some reason, and I don't know why, because I don't know why as a player this is the case either. Matt doesn't trust many people, but I think he gets the feeling that in this case he could trust Ulysses.
Okay.
So he's like letting the guard down. He's like that, especially because he just had a mystic moment where he literally read his intentions. I think he's like, no, this guy's on the up and up. We can-
I can actually read his aura to tell me that
yeah,
he's
we
indeed that
feel
way.
like he's on our side for now.
Okay. So, yeah, you'll get into this car. It's an old, kind of like a beat-up car, and you guys will head to the hospital. Do you have anything you want to talk to him about, or should I fast forward?
Yeah, you fast forward. I think we covered most.
Cool. Perfect. So, you guys will arrive at the hospital. Ben, you are awake currently, and the doctor walk in and say, "Hey, you have visitors."
Kind of like looking around, like bring him in as I'm picking on my wound.
Okay. So, Matt Steele and Ulysses will walk in together.
What's he doing here, Matt?
Hey Ben, a lot's changed in the past 72 hours.
You better make this right. As I'm picking him over, not you. I'm looking at Ulysses.
Oh, I was like, I don't know that I can heal your arm there.
No,
guy.
Ulysses, this is all your fault.
He goes, "I'm sorry that this happened to you.
You knew what you were
If
saying.
it makes you feel any better, I don't think there was another way out of this."
So
Good try.
I'll
Yeah.
I'll go shut the door. I'll be like, Listen, Ben, we got a lot to talk about.
Well, it's not like I can move too much.
So, Ulysses, feel free to chime in where needed.
I got you.
But Ulysses here, as we know, is not their son. He's not. All the things we've already learned, but he's filled me in on a couple things. So he did kill the Gorgons. I didn't ask how.
You're not in the position to make sounds at me, mister.
I didn't kill no one. This is on you.
He killed the Gorgons to get the necklace. Because he, for whatever way, he won't tell me at the moment, but he promises at the end that he will, that he's knowledgeable of the Spire, he's knowledgeable of these things, and allegedly letting them have it is worse than him having it, and because he intends to destroy the Spire. Don't ask me how, but I know for a fact that is in fact what he intends.
I think it's best for everyone in New York.
Well, yeah, and I agree. So I've agreed with him that I'm going to help him see that all the way through.
As you're saying, I'm scratching my scratches on my face.
Probably don't do that, bud.
Oh, do what?
Yeah. All right. So I think I've decided that in that same thing you just said, it's better for everybody if I help him do this all the way through. You're welcome to. I completely understand
I'm
if
in.
you would like not. Okay.
Impulsive.
That's a man. And I'll like, your left arm so I'll put out my left hand.
And I go with my left. Shake hands.
Shake hands.
And Ulysses goes, okay, so I can't amend for the pain that I've caused you, but I can ease some of it. And he'll kind of like, he'll tap you on the shoulder, and you can heal me a d6. And the
One.
Wow.
while
That was
you
a sick trick, though.
Yeah, it was.
while you don't have your arm back, you do feel a little bit better.
Just the tiniest bit better.
Yeah. And he'll go, that's all I can do for now. I'm sorry.
I feel 1% better.
Well, no, that's like
Or, well, it's more.
it's like 5%.
It's
yeah.
10. It was 12, so it'll be like 11.
So since I have both of you on board, I will give you a little bit of thing. So once we get the amulet and find out where the spire is, there's a ritual that has to be done. This ritual is deadly, to say the least, or it can be deadly, especially
Everything's
if there's
deadly.
distractions. I will start the ritual, and basically we'll just have to make sure nothing hurts me in that time.
Okay.
Otherwise, there's a good chance it'll just siphon life from us. Make sense? Mm-hmm. So when we get there, and I can tell you a little bit more on the way and all that fun stuff, but it'll basically be a lot of us. And then he gets like all bashful and shy, and he goes holding hands. And
I kind of like look at my arm that's missing now.
well, we'll make sure you're on my
Okay.
the correct side. But you'll have to figure out a way to keep people or anything off me while we basically have this ritual circle going. Okay.
Okay.
That's more details to come, just so you know that it is deadly. This is your last chance to back out
No.
with full disclosure from me.
I do think before we go for it, I mean, once we have the necklace and such, there's no real rush, right? I mean, is there a hard timer?
I don't know. I don't know what Pat's been doing, so
Okay. Well, assuming we don't learn of a timer, we can always take a few days, make sure that Ben and I are healthy as we can be anyway, and most ready to take on whatever we run into.
well then. So what's your? Do you have a plan to try to retrieve the amulet or find out where the spire is?
Well, we know the amulet is in some way or some shape in the possession of Pat Wells.
Okay.
That's for sure.
He told us as much.
He controlled the beast. Thanks.
Spire's a little bit harder.
Okay.
So I got two things. You know, so the first thing is like, maybe, I don't know. I've interacted with this thing a lot. Look over again to my missing arm. Maybe
That's
I
a way to
can
put it.
tune into it or something. Maybe locate it.
That's an interesting theory. Ulysses says.
Next thing I kind of want to bring up is so you're being more open about this whole operation now. So
I will do my best.
I'd like to know, you wouldn't happen to be some sort of time traveler, would you?
Nah,
That's
that's
kind of
funny.
an offshot, but
That's funny.
is it?
Yeah.
So no or yet? Is it getting confirmed?
No, it's What else can I say? No.
So can I use a psychology roll on that?
Sure, go ahead.
I always feel like you're in the corner of my eye. Ooh, 71. Do not pass. Nope.
Okay.
Okay.
He smiles. And he'll say, any other questions that I can have for you?
Well, like I say, what do you think about this whole like tuning into it?
I think it's a theory. It's a plausible theory.
And the question is,
If I'm being entirely honest, my theory would have been to go kill the guards that were at the apartment and then just use the last one as a way to, explain to where to go.
6v3. What skills do you bring to this operation? So obviously you're gonna be tagging along with us now, right?
And I assume if there's a ritual, he's got to prepare the other
But
components.
before that,
I'm a little confused by your question.
I was like, what skills do you have?
Are you going to
besides-
follow us around, or are we doing this and you
Well,
got other stuff
like
to do?
you said, I do have to go prepare things. I can help in some way, but then we're just rushing parts of the thing. So if you want me to go help, I can go help. Skills I possess, he says.
Just learn about you.
I'm a very knowledgeable person. I enjoy the scientific process a lot. Like,
Well, but also, if he sent us to get it in the first place, if he could have just gotten it, he would
Yeah.
have. No, I think leaving him to prepare the ritual that might kill us all so that we don't have to rush it, probably the move.
Matt, what do you think? Should I try this whole
No,
deadly being
not now,
attunement? Not now.
because
Is it
you're
easier?
very injured. We don't fully understand what, if any, connection you have to this thing.
So 2v6.
No, I think this is a false dichotomy. I think if we put our brains to it, we can maybe come up with another option. Although I respect your approach, I just think for two mortals, we'll call it.
he says, I'm mortal. Like, it's
For two less than weird folk,
So
we'll come up with something else. And if all else fails, we can go that route. again.
well, here actually I have an
They're
idea.
still human. They sleep.
I was gonna say that's a good point, but here's another idea. Who do you know beside from Pat Wells? Because maybe I can fill you in on information for them.
got
Sydney.
a whole list. He takes out the notebook.
But that
Okay.
one
I
we
can't
don't
promise I know all the list, but
We got Sydney, who we've met.
okay, don't know them.
She's nice.
Kyle Yam,
Don't know.
Tyler Peterson,
Don't know.
Brian.
Although I do hear some things about him. I hear he's a really smart guy.
Right. Brian, no
Nope.
last name. Wendy,
No, without the last name, I don't know.
and then Pat, who we assume is Pat Wells.
Well, obviously I've made my point clear with him. I know he was a friend of the Gorgons and
Yeah.
such.
Well, we know he went on that expedition with them. Oh, Kyle Moore was another name we were found, but
He's-
not given.
okay. Well, I can help shed some light on that one. Kyle Moore was the original helper and transporter of the Gorgon family's expedition. So he had all the things. So actually, maybe a good step for you guys. Look where Kyle Moore is, because he might have what we're looking for. He might be the one that currently is in possession or knows where the spire is.
So do we want to go for the spire first or the necklace?
Well, probably be better if we had the necklace so that they can't control it.
I'd say, yeah, cutting off their connection takes priority, but Kyle's a good lead for...
So another thing is my running theory is sound. I don't know how true that is, but sound doesn't travel too far.
Oh, you mean your running theory is that sound
Yeah,
is
sound is
useful?
the-
I thought you were like,
it sounds
like it's good.
It's a good
It is.
theory.
It's a sound theory about sound. And these creatures don't, from what we saw, leave a perimeter. Here we go. Yeah, a perimeter around the building. It never chases out in the street. Whether that could be that they don't want anyone
I'd
seeing
say
it,
that might be more precautionary.
but it also one of them also turned to liquid, as you said. I think I was knocked out when that happened from that one image. That's
Yeah, it started to dissolve, but again, that could be preventative, because at that point we exited the building, and I mean, there were passersby.
yeah. So there might be Pat Wells summoned it, so it probably is anywhere that could happen. But I don't know if that's limited to the amulet.
So, I guess shedding a little light on that is that it's probably that if Pat Wells is the one summoning it, I don't know who is, but if Pat Wells is, then there's a good chance that it's within proximity of him that they can go. and then after a certain length, they'll stop. That would be my operating assumption on that, because the amulet lets them control it and summon them. So thought would be that it would leave after going too far from the summoner.
Okay. And do you know if there's any requirement of the spire being near the person controlling and summoning?
Probably not.
Okay, so that's
The spire is just the housing for the mother of those creatures.
So
It sounds like the necklace is our priority.
Yeah.
So I say we probably don't go back to the police station. I'm going to go make a call.
we can hide in Pat Wells' house. Just like off him.
Well, let's...
That's a very aggressive approach.
Yeah,
I respect it.
Before we slide into cold-blooded, unjustifiable murder, how
That's
about
justified. As I look at my arm.
And Ulysses will chime in and say, "I'm not going to be the moral high ground. I did say I was down for killing like people,
I'm
but
not against it. It's more the...
that doesn't look like Pat did that to you."
No, but he's part of it.
Yeah, but you can't explain that to anyone.
Yet.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
fucking point.
All right.
So Ulysses will say, "Well, I'm going to go start.
Yeah.
Do you have any other questions?"
No, I think we're good. So I think Matt's gonna, as Ulysses kind of steps out, he's gonna step out to call Jackie, as I assume they're coming to like change his catheter or something.
They're going to help him to the bathroom.
Yeah, that's right. He
So-
has to go with the character. Too.
So you'll pick up the phone and call Jackie, and you'll hear Jackie pick up on the other side, and you'll go,
Hello?
Hey, Jackie. It's Matt.
Yeah, Matt, it's me. What's up?
Yeah, it's usually what happens when I call your number. Listen, we've got a lot to talk about, and I can't go over all of it right now.
Okay.
I need you... Do you trust me, Jackie?
I generally trust you. Yes.
I need you to do me probably the biggest favor ever, but if you do it, you might be able to make some real career-changing arrests.
Okay. He says,
I need you to get me 2 uniforms from whoever does your dry cleaning, and even if they're fake, some badges.
okay. It's very illegal to make fake badges, but
Yeah, I mean, so is stealing uniforms.
Right.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
Right. Well, I'm just trying to wrap my head around this. He says, you're gonna have to help me out here, Matt. Like, why?
Jackie, do you trust me?
It's not about trust, man. This is something that could get me thrown out. Or worse.
He'll kind of like hushed because he's in the hospital. Like, listen, there's just some high-profile people involved in this. I'm not allowed back in the police department, as I'm sure you've heard by now.
There has been some talk about it, yes.
I need to get in there. I need to look for a piece of evidence that Pat is admitted to having, but is not properly documented.
Okay.
And I just need you to do your best to trust me on this one.
Okay.
And I can give you full disclosure later.
So, two uniforms, 2 badges.
Yeah, mine, you know my sizes, and he's gonna like kind of eyeball Ben and be like, probably like medium.
Okay.
Bring a large, just in case.
Okay. I'll bring you a couple, he says, or I'll try to.
And bring them by the apartment.
Okay. He says, I hope something good comes out of this.
I said if it all goes the way I expect, you might make some career-changing arrests. We'll get you off that desk duty finally.
Okay, and he'll say, I'll go do it, and he'll click off.
Be careful, buddy.
Fun fact, Ben is the same size as Matt.
Well, especially now.
Yeah.
So you'll head back in the room. Ben's back in the bed.
All right, Ben. We're going to go break into a police department.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed that episode, be sure to leave us a like on YouTube, a heart on Spotify, 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, send us a carrier pigeon expressing your gratitude for us making this episode. Really, any positive form of appreciation that you can give on whatever platform you're listening on. It helps us grow and all that fun stuff. And we will see you next time as we break into a police department.
Any
haven't learned. That's the problem.
every noise.
things.
We're learning. Editing Michael, help.
Editing Michael, help us.
I'm stuck. Help.
Editing Michael, please help.